Our next presenter will be Rizwan Ali Shinwari, please.
Hello, everybody. I am Rizwan Shinwari. I am a PhD fellow in the Department of Peace and Conflict Studies, Center for International Peace and Stability, National University of Sciences and Technology, Pakistan. I'm also a visiting scholar in the Department of Political Science, University of Massachusetts, Amherst. Yes. So my topic today is identity, conflict, and economic development in Pakistan. So overall, there are three indicators or determinants of my topic: identity in conflict, and then economic development. Regarding identity, I just want to share a point in connection with the presentation already made by my friend Dr. Medina. There is a verse in Quran which is Ya ayyuhan nasu inna khalaqnakum min zakarin wa unsa wa ja'alnakum shu'uban wa qaba'ila lita'arafu. Its meaning is that God is saying in Quran that we created male and female, and then we created society into factions and tribes. But what is the purpose of this creation, So in the same words, he explains, we created them just to identify, means not to show each other superior or inferior, just for an identification. It is not a part of my presentation though, but it is connected with the a presentation done by my friend and discussion we made yesterday. And in the same, on another place, our Prophet Muhammad, in his last sermon, because he was born in Arabia, Saudi Arabia, he was mentioning to his followers that no Arab is superior over non-Arab, which they call it Ajam in Arabic language. And no Ajam or non-Arabic is superior over the Arabs, because at that time, Prophet realized the fact that people might use this Arabic word because of, God sent many a messenger to Saudi Arabia, and people might use or might consider themselves as superior. So it is not a new phenomenon. And in Islam, almost all messengers in all religions try to press this idea and spread love in humanity. So this was a few points I wanted to share in connection with my friend's presentation. So I will be presenting overall briefly. I will be talking about the connection of conflict and economic development in Pakistan. So just a brief idea of geography, religion of Pakistan. So then Afghanistan is located in the northwest, Iran is located in the west, and India is located in the east of Pakistan. So it's very important. The northwestern countries of Pakistan are Islamic countries, and the western country is Iran. Iran is also very important because in Islam we have two major sects in Islam. We call it Shia and Sunni, and it was also a source or a cause of conflict in Pakistan for almost a decade. So it's very important. Afghanistan is Sunni majority country, right? And Iran is a Shia majority country, but there were the dynamics of conflict in this region, in this Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, had been changed, and especially it is changed after 9/11. It got its new shape after 9/11. So this is the cause and impacts of the terrorism which both Afghanistan faced since last 4 decades, and Pakistan is facing since last 16 or 18 years in our country. So there are some causes which I explained in my paper, but Generally, I will just shed some light on each of them. General Zia's Islamization in 1980, the Iranian Revolution in Iran, Islamic Revolution in Iran, it was a cause of the ethno-religious, ethno-sectarian conflict in Pakistan right after 9/11. Saudi's role and its proxies, because Saudi is a Sunni majority country in the world, and Iran is a Shia majority country in the world. So they both try to fight proxy wars in Islamic countries. And this is the reason Middle East is under the flames of conflict since last 2 decades. It is like, other than petrodollar, religion and sect is also one of the main cause of the conflict in Middle East. Then Iran-Iraq war also changed Pakistan's foreign policy toward that conflict. Soviet invasion in Afghanistan is actually the start of the story, and my friend already tried to cover one aspect of this topic. When Soviet invaded into Afghanistan in 1982 or 81, it was a start of a perpetual conflict which lasted which is still going on, I would say. And it had deep implications on Pakistan. After the conflict, like there were CIA, ISI, Saudi Arabia, because there was a Cold War going on in entire world, which, like, Asia was the hotspot of that conflict between Russia and America, between socialism, Marxism, and capitalism. So Afghanistan was the last endpoint between these powers. And Russia broke away with a joint venture by Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and America. So Pakistan provided lunch pairs and trainings to the Mujahideen. At that time, they were called Mujahideen, right? But after that, when Russia withdrew from Afghanistan, those factions started fighting with each other. So, and after that, another era, like the second phase of conflict started in Afghanistan, which was between those factions. So one faction emerged. They were powerful, and later on they become a Taliban, and they captured Kabul in 1996, which was ruling over Afghanistan till 9/11, or after 2001, when United States started bombing Taliban regions and posts in Kabul, and removed Taliban from the government and established a democratic government in Afghanistan. So, and role of religious group. These were some causes which I identified, major causes which fueled sectarian ethnic-based terrorism or conflict in Pakistan. So it had three major impacts on Pakistan society: its politics, its culture, and its economics. So my theme of this paper is just to highlight economics, how these factors fueled conflict in Pakistan and how it affected economy of Pakistan. So this is again a brief timeline of the events that occurred in Afghanistan, because Pakistan and Afghanistan they share borders more than 2,500 kilometers, and a single spark in Afghanistan can have drastic changes in Pakistan as well. And I'm living in the border. And I have seen flames of conflict since I was born. I have seen Taliban, I have seen Mujahideen, and then again the second phase of Taliban in Pakistan right after 9/11. My area was conflict in Pakistan for almost 16 or 17 years, until 2016 and 17, when Pakistan totally cleared the 10% of the region of Taliban's influence inside Pakistan. So Russia invasion in 1979, and 1989 Russia withdrew because it was defeated by the, I would say, elite forces of United States, capitalist blocs, including United States, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and many other countries. And in 1995 and 1996, Taliban came to power again after 9/11 incident. US invaded Afghanistan. So from 2000 to 2016, there was a destruction in Pakistan. more than, according to documented in reports, there were more than 80,000 people killed in Pakistan. But I keep it empty, this space, because there was nothing other than destruction. And I will be later on discussing specifically the determinants of destruction and its impacts on the economy of Pakistan. In 2014, those terrorists in Pakistan attacked a school in which they killed school children, more than 140 school children. It shocked the entire world because it was the second or the only incident of its nature in the 100-year history of mankind. After which Pakistan government launched in operation, because there were like inside Pakistan the society was divided because Pakistan government has its own Taliban, which people think that Pakistan was using. In United States alleged Pakistan that Pakistan is using its own Taliban to train in Pakistan and be used in Afghanistan. So there was like a trust deficit between Pakistan government and Afghanistan and United States. So inside society, people stood up against government and forced the government to stop supporting and sponsoring any kind of Taliban. So in literature, they used good Taliban. In United States and in Pakistan, they used term good Taliban. Good Taliban were those Taliban which were, like good guys of government in Pakistan. Or I would say Pakistan kept them to be used in Afghanistan in times of emergency, and Kashmir as well. So Kashmir is another flashing point for Pakistan's conflict with India. It is totally a different topic, but it has sectarian and it has religious factor as well of this conflict. And 2019 is considered to be like it is an year in which Afghanistan is truly going through a crossroad. And this is the point which I guess this is the point where my friend already highlighted what happened and what will be what's gonna happen in future as well. So yes, now this is an indicator of conflict. I took people killed simple since 9/11 in Pakistan. So you see in 2000, like there are conflicts going on in Pakistan. Like there are separatist movements, and then there are different nature of conflicts in Pakistan. So in 2000, there are 166 people killed in different conflicts. But as you see, in 2009, it reached to the peak of 11,000 people, like in different suicide attacks and bomb blasts in Pakistan. 11,000 people were killed in 2011. My point in this paper is that this conflict had deep impacts on our economy, and it affected our economy. And I will be using different indicators of economy and GDP and how it affected economy of Pakistan, because this point is very important. In 2007, 8, and 9, there was global financial crisis. So like people ask a question that maybe the change in GDP might be caused by the global financial crisis, because Pakistan is connected with the global financial system. So you see the GDP growth rate, the blue line is GDP growth rate, and the dotted line is the people killed, or it is the same line. I regenerated it here. So after 2016 and 17, there is an opposite direction between these two lines. You see this line. So from this line onward, GDP is going down, and the people and insurgency events and people killed is going up. So at this peak point in 2009 and 10, it was the peak point when it was in full swing. The terrorist activities were in full swing. But at the same time, you see in this era, there was a drop in our GDP growth rate. In 2008, it dropped down below 2%. And again, it was continued for almost 5 years. So different research studies done to identify if this slow growth rate is attributed or affected by the conflict. So some studies done which shows that this growth rate, the decrease in growth rate was really caused by this conflict, not by the global financial crisis. I did not discuss I just give some highlights of the global financial crisis on our Pakistan economy, because we are connected with the global financial system, but it is not, like other Western countries. We are still having problems like trade and other issues with the globalization, I would say. Studies done by Zahid. According to his study, terrorism has affected it is the summary of that study, findings of that study. Terrorism has affected the foreign direct investment in Pakistan, which decreased to 3.6% in 2015 from 6.6 in 2005. Similarly, it also affected capital accumulation, which was 17% of the GDP in 2005 and dropped to 13% of GDP. The expenditure, similarly, on overcoming terrorism had been increased from 1.4% of the GDP to 11% of the GDP in the same time frame. These three factors are significant economic variables that tell a story, tell a lot how much Pakistan's economy in all major sectors had been deeply affected. So this is the end of my my presentation. Okay, thank you.